All right, guys, welcome back. So, big news. This is pretty much done. So we've got the new steering shaft is finished. You guys can see pictures of that up on the Facebook page, and pictures of like the breakdowns of what the parts look like and stuff. Those are all up on the Facebook page. So if you're interested in a little bit more in-depth stuff, you can check on Project 2 Door 4 on Facebook, which is 2DR space IV, like Evo 4. So, but I got Dad got the steering shaft welded up and brought home for me today, and I got that installed. I also changed the bearing in the column. We did end up doing that. Dad just picked one up since he was out and about today at a bearing supply place. I think it's part number 6903. I can check. I've got the bearing sitting out over here. Let's see. I have plastic all over me. So let's see. This one, well, I had to cut a bunch of slots to remove the old bearing. Oh, here's the other one. So this is the bearing. Oh no, it's 6904. So this is the bearing from the Equinox, and this is the bearing from the Evo. Yeah, it's the same part. So whoever makes those steering columns, probably the same vendor that makes them for everybody. American cars. But anyway, new bearing in the steering column, and I'm really happy that I got all that done. You can see I put the plastic back on, and I even put on my hub adapter. So anyway, the wiring looks like a rat's nest, like it always does, but it's done. I got these heat shrunk, and here's the power and the ground that are coming from the battery. And I still haven't put the fuse box in the engine bay yet, but you know, it's close enough. Whatever. That's only going to take me a few minutes whenever I get around to it. Until then, I'll just keep disconnecting it. But I have the controller mounted here, as I showed you guys last time, and then I mounted the knob here. It sets all the way up, and that's all the way down. We keep it all the way up for now just because it makes it easier to showcase, but you can literally tune how much power you want your power steering to have with that, which lets you fine-tune the feel. And for those that don't know, Evos, you hear a lot of reviewers talk about how Evos suffer from a little bit too much power steering. It kills it just makes it too light, which kills the feel through the wheel, and it also kind of hurts your on-center feel, like it makes it a little bit vague. So I've got a caster kit on the car that really helps a lot, but it was still really, really strong compared to what it should be. Plus you've got all the weight of the hydraulic system and whatnot. So this really, you know, for what this little bit of kit here weighs, you get to eliminate all that junk from the bay. I think it's just a no-brainer. So especially since you can tune the feel with that knob. But anyway, so that's that all done, and then I ran those through some of my fiberglass sheathing just to keep it from rubbing on anything. I had to remove my OBD2 sensor for the reader. It's not a huge deal because this doesn't do anything anymore anyway with the Haltech. So just keep it tucked up there, and I need to trim this off. But still wanted it to be in the fiberglass sheathing just because it helps keep stuff from getting chafed under here. I just grounded it right up here, and then I tapped into one of my switched 12-volt sources over here. None of these are these aren't powering anything serious, so I'm not going to worry about running a power wire from my power distribution block. It just doesn't seem really worth it considering how low amperage that thing draws. So I put it on the same power source as I think that's just the fog light switch. And it's not the fog light power, it's literally just the power wire that triggers the relay, so should be just fine. But so okay, so we got the knob, we got the power ground for the controller, power and ground for the motor, and then of course that's switched to 12 volts, so it comes on with the key. But we can show it working here now. So if I get the keys entangled, put the key on here. All right, here's our startup procedure. Oh, the TAC doing its presentation is something that's new for the Haltech. I thought that was pretty slick, but and I still need to fix my oil temperature sensor. For whatever reason, it's not reading properly in the Haltech. I need to figure that out. It's probably a scaling issue, but I'm not really sure. But anyway, so you can see, if I can do this with one hand, yeah, literally can just turn the hub. That's crazy. Like, there's no reason that I should be able to do that. Like, it's pretty unbelievable. And then of course, if we turn it down, you can actually hear it click off. Wait for it. There it is. Yep. No more power. So pretty cool. So yeah, now we're gonna just turn this down for now so that we don't mess up the hydraulics. I don't want those two to start fighting each other and break something. Of course, it's not running right now, so it's not a problem, but just in case. And yeah, so that's that. I'm pretty stoked on it. I can't believe how easily it actually went together. I did have to add spacers in here. I didn't think about it, but when I lowered that lower mounting point, it increased the angle up, and I was like, man, why am I already maxed out at the lowest setting? And then I was like, oh, duh, that makes sense. So I had to space this down a little bit. And it's not the smoothest thing in the world, but it's not like you actually adjust this ever once you get it where you like it to be. So it's I'll get it figured out whenever I'm ready. It's I think it's because the steering linkage doesn't have any slip to it, but again, there's really not any good way to do that, so it just kind of is what it is. But that's really like the only downside to this, in my opinion. So I mean, unless you consider like cutting up rare factory stuff a downside, which I did have to trim my lower dash panel here. It's not, I need to fix where I slipped up a little bit there, but on the whole, I got that trimmed pretty good with an angle grinder. It's not like this thing was in the best of shape anyway. For those that know who Jolyn is, this came from her whenever JDM Candy Shop was still a thing. And yeah, a lot of the stuff that came from them wasn't amazing, but I'm not complaining because this thing is, to find a left-hand drive lower dash panel is basically impossible. And this one even had the switch for the parking antenna, which in Japan they had in the bumper, so you could flick that switch and a little pole would come up out of the bumper and kind of show you where the front of your car was so you didn't hit a curb. But that's probably going to be my anti-lag switch whenever I get that wired up. You know, I've already got rolling anti-lag on the intercooler sprayer button, so and anti-lag is just on by default the way it is now, but I'd like to be able to turn that off. That would be good. So, but anyway, so this does fit. I don't know if it'll stay in place, but and you can kind of. Nope. Oh, come on now. Let's just go where you're to your home. There, maybe. No. Okay, hang on. Yes. So you can see it all fits now, and that's all you can see. It's just that little bit. So I don't think pedal interference is going to be too big of a deal. I mean, yeah, this big old bulky motor is there, but it's not, I don't know. It's fine. It's not the worst. I mean, you might hit this with your foot, pulling it back from clutching in, but I mean, it's not going to block you from hitting the clutch. So I think it's fine. Like I said, you can see how much room there is. I think it's plenty. So yeah, my next step is to install that nonsense, and yeah, I think that's about. Oh, I gotta install the fuse holder in the engine bay. So install that, which is gonna take just a couple of seconds as soon as I'm finished with this video, and install the fuse holder in the bay and get a new fuse for it, which I'll do later. Like I said, really no big deal. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a whole winter project done, and it's not even Christmas yet. I really thought this was going to take a lot more time and effort than it has, so I am really excited about that. Yeah, I guess once this is done, I still need to get the steering wheel, and then the seat rails. My dad's got those. Not so worried about getting those done quickly. As soon as he has those ready, we'll put them in. I don't have seats to go on them yet, other than the Evo 8 Recaros that I had. I need to pull the back seat out here and fix the fuel gauge. And yeah, I mean, we're pretty much through the most difficult of the projects. So I'm really excited about this. Still kind of hoping maybe I can do a turbo upgrade this winter. We'll just have to wait and see. One of my buddies is pulling the turbo I want off of his car soon, supposedly. So if he ends up deciding to do that, swap this winter, then I'm going to try to pick his turbo up from him, and then we will really be upping our power game. So we'll see. But yeah, I guess I do also need to start pulling the hydraulic stuff out, so I'll probably start doing that this week now that this is pretty much done. I think it's pretty safe to go ahead and start pulling that stuff out, because I mean, yeah, we're good here, I think. So anyway, that's where we're at for right now. Appreciate you guys for following the build. I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.